What's up, guys? Oldhead Mike here, Medical Mommy Montana. Welcome to our review for Lovecraft Country, Episode 7, entitled I Am. And this one's all about Hippolyta.
I'm sorry I let you get attacked by a werewolf and then into the world.
Alright, so sorry we're a little late. We were kind of busy yesterday, kind of screwed around a little too much, and didn't have time to watch the episode, so we watched it today after I got off work, and now we're reviewing it. So this one is a little bit slower. I'd say this is the first one without any horror elements in it. It's mostly like a sci-fi kind of adventure. There is some scary imagery. I think there's the scene where Hippolyta goes to this planet and there's like this giant alien ship. Was kind of menacing, but after that it was pretty tame. I guess let's talk about the plot a little bit. Just again, this one's kind of slow, so not too much happens really. That's essential to the plot. You get so you find out that the main bomb drop here is that
Letty's pregnant.
Yeah. Letty looks like she's pregnant. She's got some morning sickness. She had a vision in the beginning that she was pregnant. I'm wondering if it's a tick thing or if it's one of those demon things, because remember on the second episode she had when they cured her, she had this like bubble thing on her side. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if she's gonna have one of those things, or if maybe it's just normal having a baby. Who knows?
You
what
also
else?
find out that they're keeping the dead bodies. Whatever that witch bitch name, the white girl, her name is.
Oh,
we
yeah.
get I don't know. They acted like they were gonna tell us the backstory, because Ruby's like, I want to know the truth, because she finds out that William's dead body, and that the dog bitch, I don't know her name, but whoever Ruby turns into, their dead bodies are in this room, and they're basically kept there for blood supply. I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah, she said she took the blood and turned it into a magic spell.
But
potion.
they act like they're about to get into this whole backstory or whatever. I don't know if it's stuff we already know or if it's just going to pick up from there in the next episode, but they kind of just don't go back to it. And the next time you see Ruby, it's in a whole nother place. Yeah. And they don't touch base on that, whatever they were about to talk about, at all throughout the rest of the episode. And you don't even see the Christina. White bit. Yeah, Christina, for the rest of the time. So maybe they'll continue on that or something. Tick and fucking Hippolyta have to be reunited because she never came out of the little bubble thing only he did, and she had decided at the end, because she acted, I don't know, she got the option to either stay in the alternate world or whatever, or leave, and she was like, I can't leave D. Yeah. And I thought whenever Tick came out of the bubble that it was going to be her. It just it ends.
It's kind of open-ended on that. Hippolyta.
What were those books though too?
Because
one was they were comics, and one was titled or drawn by George.
One said Lovecraft Country by George Freeman, which is his Uncle George, and to my knowledge, I don't think he wrote. Did he write a book?
I don't think so.
I think that's
was.
Something. It looked like something that maybe could have came from one of those alternate
world,
dimensions or something.
Because she had that comic of it looked like her who she was in the space thing.
That was the one that her kid drew.
I don't know if it was D or Hippolyta, but
it said it was by Diana Freeman, because that's what the preview for the next one was. That's why the cops were all up in her shit, because they found the comic book on the body there. But yeah, so what we're talking about is Hippolyta goes on this adventure thing, and
she wants to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's she's trying to figure out, how George died and all this stuff, and she gets all these clues that leads her to opening up the orrery, and it gives her a key, which leads her gives her some coordinates, and it's a what's the name of that building? It has a telescope, observatory. It's an observatory, and so she activates some machine, and some security guards come in, and Tick comes in at the same time, and saves her from being killed by these dudes.
That part was kind of confusing though, because it seemed like an abandoned type deal.
Yeah.
And it's not like she knows what she's doing, you know, so she's not
she's
being
never
sneaky
seen...
or anything. So if there were, like, security guards that came up, like, as soon as she fucking messed with it, you know, where were they? You know, like, how did Tick get into if it was this, like, magic thing and they make a big deal and, like, almost kill her instantly as soon as they find her, you know, like, wouldn't they try a little harder to protect it, or, like, have more than 2 security? I don't know. That didn't make sense. Like, they all just walked in like it was nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, so this one's, like I said, this one is a little bit different. There's a lot of, it's mostly just story, and some of it's kind of confusing. So hopefully it'll get clarified a little more later. But, so she goes through a portal, ends up on in some, like, spaceship where there's this girl that looks like what's that girl's name from Steven Universe with the big
oh my
the
god,
big afro, you know what I'm talking about? Steven Universe.
Garnet, is that her name?
I can't remember.
The red one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so, and she
she looked like a robot. I thought it was like a robot.
It was really
thing.
strange.
She didn't have her afro at first. She had an afro after she met Hippolyta the first time.
Yeah, I guess it was. I don't know. It's an alien, is what it is, because she was like, because then at the end she's like, "Oh, we can. You've passed. We can.
Well, I assumed
put you in our. You can transform into our. Well, I can't remember what she says."
I assumed it was an alien just of how, like, they set up the first scene of her in the spaceship. Like, they do the stereotypical all white, you know, backdrop, and, you know, they're naked. She was naked as fuck. You got all her titty action in this episode. And they put, like, stuff in her wrist. I don't really know what that was. It was like, it looked like gems
so,
cut
again,
into her
from Steven
wrist.
Universe.
Yeah, literally. It looked like some gems, but it was the same shit that the alien girl was made out of.
And so that's what, I guess it's really, I guess they wanted this one to be vague, because there's a lot of unanswered questions here. Because she goes through this journey, and she winds up as a dancer with this girl that she has always admired, and she kind of loses herself in it. She like almost like forgets who she is at first. She finds herself again, but she's like, oh, you know, now she's just dancing. You know, she's a dancer now, having the time of her life. And then she has this like serious moment and realizes she's like, I want to kill white people, and she's like, I'm tired of being held down and just all this other stuff, and it's this real like serious moment, and then that's when she like goes on this, it goes even wilder. She goes into like some warrior community. I don't know what time period this is, but it's against this like
they look like Confederates.
Yeah, they look like Confederate army.
Honestly,
I don't know.
It was very confusing because it wasn't. Obviously.
I don't know if you guys know what that was. If is that like a real thing? Let me know. But it was really strange. But
she killed the fuck out of some
she
people.
like
decapitates a dude.
She stays there for a really long time and like learns. She trains like, and learns to fight. Trains all these other people. They end up fighting, and just like murders like tons of these Confederate officer looking guys. And then she
a super cute moment with
George. She goes back to George, and you know she tells him everything that's happened, and I guess because she like realized that she was unhappy.
It's really just a thing of like, it was just like a journey of self-discovery for her, and like going and doing better, because she was like, it wasn't that she was mad at George, she was just like, you held me back, and like I'm just now realizing it, you know, like I put myself in this place, and she's just like figuring her own shit out, like going through her own thing, you know, because
relatable,
very relatable. Self-discovery leads to weird things, doesn't it? So is Dee her kid, like her actual kid, or is it someone else's kid?
I think it's her kid. Yeah, because same like last name and everything.
Yeah, so like she's like, I got held back to, like, have kids and everything, and I didn't want to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And she ends up going on, like, he goes with her, like, on the next one.
She, like, takes him with her, and, like, she just takes him to, like, some weird planet, and they're, like, looking at all these, like, different plants and stuff, and they're just, I don't know. They're just
creatures that come up.
Yeah, they're just having, like, this little mini adventure. They don't really go into what happens with them. And then he just goes away, and he just disappears, and she shows up and confronts the alien lady, and she's like, the alien lady's like, oh, I can turn you into one of us now or something, and that's when she's like, I don't know. She was like, I could go back, but how could I go back?
Yeah, she's having this, like, whole mental battle with herself.
Yeah, she's like, that Hippolyta was too small.
Yeah, how can I go back after I just experienced all this?
And then she's like, but Dee needs me. And then
it seems like she's going to.
So we're like, I don't know. Yeah, you think she's going to go back,
because she says that, and then
it doesn't.
She doesn't come out, and the thing closes, and, like, it breaks, and
so
it seemed like it broke.
Unless she popped out somewhere else. Who knows? I guess we're gonna find out.
Also a possibility, but she did specifically say I could go back to where I came in the little portal through. Like, she said that to the alien lady.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So,
but also, why the fuck did Tick leave?
Yeah, because the
portal
cops
closed.
The cops were there. That's what that was. There were sirens and
stuff.
Oh,
right.
So who knows?
There's
what
a lot
she's
going
doing
on in this episode.
Yeah. You kind of feel like she could have brought George back, which is what the theory is that we knew that this thing was going to end up sending her somewhere, and maybe there's a chance she could bring George back, and it looks like she had the opportunity to, but we don't know if that's what happened, because, again, they didn't show where he went. She just, like, it just skipped scenes, and now she's talking to the alien lady, and George isn't there. So who knows? We don't know. No one knows. Just a weird...
I didn't really get that.
It's a strange episode. But, you do get a lot of personal... It's more of like a personal growth
Ruby
within...
and Letty get over
but then
there.
You get, like...
Yeah. It's just a lot of, like, little...
Yeah.
Growth changes. I don't know. Nothing really happens.
Except for the pregnancy part. I guess that's the... Like I said, that's probably the biggest drop here. And that... You also see that Tick finds out that his dad is gay or bi.
I was very disappointed on how they, like, made Tick handle that situation.
Yeah.
Like, I get
we really wanted...
the hated part about, like, his dad beating him. Basically his dad beat him because of his own, like, self-hate towards himself. Mm-hmm. And Tick realizes that. But, like, the whole homophobic vibe that they make Tick go through, I don't like that at all. I feel like he would not do that.
We wanted Tick to be, the big hero, and he's, within the past couple episodes, you've seen some falters with the torture and stuff that he did in the army, which was kind of forced on him, but and then this stuff, which they're, I guess, being historically accurate, it wasn't as common, and so people were a little more prejudiced about it back then, but so I don't know them. But and his dad does not like the way he reacts. He's like, because he calls him the slur, and he's like, I'm still your dad.
Takes off his shirt, pushes him.
Yeah, he's like, just go, just get out of here, and you kind of feel bad for him. But so I don't know. Like I said, this is a slower episode. A lot of personal stuff here.
It seems like his dad is still going through, like, his own kind of self, like, dealing with, like, him being gay, I guess, because, like, they, a cute little apartment scene, with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend, like, makes him breakfast, and he says, like, this is the first time he spent the night or whatever, and, like, the dad just complains about every single good thing the boyfriend did.
Weird.
And just found something to complain about. Mm-hmm. Like, every good aspect. And the boyfriend's like, are you gonna complain that the coffee's too wet? And he's like, no, but it has too much sugar. And he's like, you just have to ruin everything. And they get into a fight, and that's why Tick and Letty walk up in the first place, because they're, like, arguing, and he's trying to leave, you know, and it seems like Tick's dad is trying to do the right thing, get him to stay, but like they walk up on it, so it's like, I don't know, everyone's going through their own shit.
Yeah,
Literally
a lot of drama in this one. Less on the horror. There's still a lot of sci-fi though. So, but this one, like I said, this one's probably the first one that didn't have any really horror aspects. So we're gonna have to just see where this goes.
It looks like the next
really
episode's
open-ended.
Pretty
Yeah,
intense.
The next one looks intense. The cops show up to confront Diana about why her comic book is there with this dead officer. And it looks like this one's going to be more focused on her because it showed a lot of scenes about her by herself. So it might be her type of adventure. We saw some crazy looking claws, like really long. They were like really long claws. Did you see
nails.
those?
Yeah.
Maybe in some new type of creature we might see. I don't know.
It's exciting to see. I don't know. It's cool to see that this like kind of show is giving all of the side characters like their own backstory, because there's not like a lot of TV shows nowadays that we get like this much shit on every single backstory and like back character there is.
Yeah, usually it's just, you know, a few, you know, like normally it would probably just be Tick and
Letty and that maybe,
and then, you know, and then the other everyone's else in the background. But it really does a good job of mixing everyone's stories.
Literally, everyone has had like a significant role in it, and it's pretty impressive.
We get all different stories from each person. We get different types of horror in each episode. So it's constantly keeps you on your toes. So it's a surprise every episode. So we're still excited to see the next few, even though this one was a little bit slower. It was still pretty good and well written. The dialogue was really good, and the imagery was pretty cool too. I liked the comic book. There was a lot of like comic book style to this one, I think. But yeah, other than that, let us know what you thought of this episode, and where you think it's gonna go. Is Hippolyta coming back? You know, what is she gonna find some compromise? Is she gonna get some powers? You know, because they said that the change would be permanent if she did go. So who knows what she could do if she does. But yeah, other than that, leave us some comments, give us a like and subscribe. And we will see you guys next week. Oldhead Mike signing off, reminding you, never too old for this.
Someday, love will find you. Break those chains and bind you. One night will be mine.